General Hospital has officially confirmed that actress Rena Sofer, who left a lasting impact with her portrayal of Lois Cerullo, will be returning to her iconic role as Quinn Forrester in The Bold and the Beautiful. This news is not only a shock to fans but also raises many questions about how Lois will exit Port Charles, where she has been involved in an emotionally charged and challenging journey. Lois' departure from GH is not just a career move for Rena Sofer, it marks the end of a dramatic chapter in Lois' story, a complex, emotional character who has made a significant impact on the screen. Currently, Lois Cerullo is facing a major upheaval in her life as a long-buried secret from the past is suddenly exposed. This revelation not only disrupts her life but also causes a significant shakeup in the Quartermaine family. Lois' daughter, Brooke Lynn, had a traumatic experience in her teenage years, an unplanned pregnancy following a brief summer camp romance. Instead of facing the truth or allowing Brooke Lynn to make her own decisions, Lois, out of love and blind protection, quietly handled everything. She arranged for the child to be adopted but lied, saying the baby had died shortly after birth. A lie born out of love, but its consequences were far-reaching. This secret has been kept for many years, with Lois hoping it would never be revealed. However, when the truth comes to light, her family, especially Brooke Lynn, can hardly believe what they are hearing. Brooke Lynn feels deeply betrayed by her mother, who she had always trusted. Not only does she have to cope with the pain of learning that the child she thought was dead is actually alive, but she must also grapple with the shame and anger of having her chance at motherhood taken from her. Moreover, the fact that the adopted child, Gio, is now living within the Quartermaine family without knowing his true relation to Brooke Lynn makes the situation even more complicated. Lois' decision to keep this secret, while driven by love and a desire to protect her daughter, has led to severe consequences. Not only has it fractured the relationship between Lois and Brooke Lynn, but it has also caused deep emotional damage to the family. Lois now faces not only the criticism from her daughter but also the judgment from her loved ones, those who once saw her as a strong and loving family woman. Lois Cerullo's departure from Port Charles is an emotional decision, not just for the character but also for the viewers who have followed her story. It marks not only the closure of an important chapter in General Hospital but also a bittersweet farewell from Rena Sofer to the character of Lois, who has become a symbol of love, sacrifice, and even unfixable mistakes within the family. With her return to The Bold and the Beautiful, Rena Sofer will continue her acting journey in a familiar role, which also holds great potential for dramatic development. While Lois' story may end at GH, it will remain an unforgettable part of the show's history. Brooke Lynn, who once believed her child had died shortly after birth, must now confront a terrifying truth. The child she gave up years ago is Gio, the talented violinist now living in the Quartermaine mansion. This revelation is a brutal shock to Brooke Lynn, forcing her to face not only a profound sense of loss but also the pain of being deprived of the opportunity to be a mother from the very beginning. Lois, the mother who once gave all her love to Brooke Lynn, is now the target of blame and criticism. For years, Lois tried to hide this terrible secret, believing she was protecting her daughter from harm and social consequences. However, once the truth is revealed, Lois cannot justify her actions. The fact that she made decisions for Brooke Lynn, arranged for the adoption, and lied about the child's death not only shatters her daughter's heart but also destroys their relationship. Gio, whom Lois raised as part of the family with great care, also cannot forgive her actions. He feels betrayed upon learning that Lois kept the truth about his origins from him all these years, preventing him from knowing his birth mother from the start. Joe's disappointment makes their relationship distant, cold, and nearly impossible to mend. Meanwhile, Brooke Lynn falls into a state of anguish and anger, not just because she lost years she could have spent with her son, but also because she feels like Lois controlled her life. This pain makes it impossible for her to forgive her mother, and their relationship appears irreparably broken. Brooke Lynn feels she has lost not only a mother but also the right to be a mother herself, fueling her growing fury. This truth not only tears apart familial bonds but also isolates Lois completely within the Quartermaine mansion. Actions driven by blind love now only leave behind painful consequences, division, criticism, and a constant burden of guilt. Lois, once the pillar of the family, now stands at risk of losing everything, her daughter's love and the trust of those she holds dear. Furthermore, the marriage between Brooke Lynn and Chase, which had already faced numerous challenges, completely crumbles when Brooke Lynn's horrific past is exposed. Chase, who has always loved and trusted Brooke Lynn, feels betrayed upon realizing that she has been hiding such a monumental secret throughout their time together. The fact that Brooke Lynn once had a child and that child, Gio, now lives in the Quartermain mansion, unaware of their relationship, makes it impossible for Chase to accept. He feels shut out, not included in the most important moments of his wife's life. Brooke Lynn, having lost the marriage she cherished, spirals into an emotional crisis. The guilt, pain of losing her child, and loneliness from no longer having Chase by her side leave her devastated. Her attempts to reconcile fail, and the truth that Chase no longer trusts her makes it impossible for them to salvage their relationship. Brooke Lynn loses not just a partner but also the person who had always supported her and been her emotional rock. Lois, who hoped the truth would bring the family closer together, inadvertently becomes the main cause of the breakdown. When the secret is revealed, instead of healing the family, it destroys everything. Lois, who only wanted to protect her daughter from the past's pain, is seen as the one who ruined Brooke Lynn's happiness. Her lies and controlling decisions are harshly criticized, not only by Brooke Lynn but also by others in the family. The overwhelming sense of guilt and isolation makes Lois feel more lost than ever. She faces the judgment of those she once loved and protected, making her feel like she no longer belongs to the family she worked so hard to keep together. Actions born of love, but misunderstood and distorted by harsh truths, have turned Lois into a stranger within her own family. She has lost not only her close relationship with her daughter but also feels utterly alone among her loved ones, a painful punishment for past mistakes she cannot undo. Lois, who once sacrificed everything for her family, now has to endure the pain of division and the feeling that she has destroyed her daughter's happiness. The irony of her situation only highlights the tragedy brought on by this hidden secret, leaving everyone involved to bear wounds that cannot be erased. Amidst the increasing pressure and growing distance from loved ones, Lois realizes there is no way for her to stay in Port Charles without constantly facing criticism or enduring prolonged pain. Her decision to leave is not just a way to seek relief from the burden but also an opportunity for her to begin anew in a place where she can rebuild herself without being haunted by past mistakes. For Lois, leaving Port Charles is the hardest choice of her life. Port Charles is not only her home but also where she holds precious memories, joys, sorrows, and relationships she cherishes above all else. But now, this place reminds her of the mistakes that caused so much pain to those she loves. Lois understands that staying would not only deepen her own sorrow but also hurt those around her. By leaving, she hopes to give her family a chance to heal, even though it means she must forego her presence in their lives. Lois' departure from Port Charles is an emotional journey marked by both regret and hope. She regrets having to give up relationships she worked so hard to build, especially her bond with Brooke Lynn. The distance between them has become an irreparable rift, and Lois knows that geographical separation may be the only way for both of them to have time and space to reflect. She also carries the pain of leaving without receiving forgiveness from Gio, whom she always considered her own. Yet, amidst all the pain, Lois also sees a glimmer of hope for a new beginning, where she can live a life free from the weight of the past. Lois Cerullo's departure is not just a significant moment in the General Hospital story but also an emotional conclusion for the character. Lois leaves not in the glow of glory, but quietly and with the struggle of a mother who sacrificed everything for her family, only to end up causing the greatest wounds to those she loved most. This is a sad but truthful conclusion, reflecting the complexities of family love and redemption. For Rena Sofer, this departure marks not just the end of her journey at GH but also the beginning of a new chapter in her career as she returns to the role of Quinn Forrester in The Bold and the Beautiful. This role promises not only a revival in the career of this talented actress but also meets the expectations of a wide audience. Rena Sofer, with her superb acting, will bring a fresh and dramatic Quinn Forrester, continuing to solidify her place in the hearts of fans. Lois Chirulo's journey ends with tears and pain, but also leaves an indelible mark on the audience. This character, with all her mistakes, love, and sacrifice, will forever be a part of General Hospital's history. Even though Lois has officially left Port Charles, her image will remain deeply ingrained in the minds of viewers as a complex symbol of family love. Lois was a mother who gave her all for her child, always ready to sacrifice herself to protect Brooke Lynn from the harm she believed her daughter could not endure. However, this boundless love led Lois into making tragic decisions, resulting in heart-wrenching consequences for both herself and those she loved most. Lois' journey is an emotional tale about a mother trying to shoulder all burdens on behalf of her child, only to realize that lies, no matter how well-intentioned, leave scars that cannot heal. Her decision to hide the truth about Brooke Lynn's son not only harmed their mother-daughter bond but also shattered the trust and unity of the Quartermaine family. Lois, once proud to be her daughter's pillar, became the cause of the greatest pain Brooke Lynn had to endure. Lois' story is not only about mistakes but also a lesson in the strength of family and forgiveness. Lois proved that family love is not always perfect, it can be filled with flaws and hurt, but it is also the only place where forgiveness and healing can begin. Even though Lois has left, the legacy she leaves behind in General Hospital is a reminder that true love is not only about protection but also about honesty, understanding, and facing the most difficult truths. Lois' choices, driven by love, reflect the dangers of trying to control everything in another person's life. Her story makes the audience reflect on the unforeseen consequences of doing what one thinks is right. It is this conflict between good intentions and painful consequences that gives Lois' character depth and appeal, making her one of the most memorable figures in General Hospital's history. Lois may have left, but what she leaves behind will always serve as a reminder of the complex nature of family love, a power that can heal but also cause deep wounds if not guided by honesty and mutual respect. The image of Lois Chirulo will forever be a symbol of a loving mother who tried her best but had to face the severe consequences of that very sacrifice.